This is a video on converting soluble powder into a 12% liquid solution. Start by having everything ready, including fuel in your tank.
Okay,
We'll convert 5 bags, 275 pounds, into 180 gallons of water. Have the bags open and setting near your inductor. Make sure hoses are properly connected. Once the pump is started, run at high idle. Open the supply valves and inline discharge valve. Once you have full flow through the inductor into your tank, you're ready to open the inductor valve below the inductor port. Very important, this is the last valve you open and the first to close. You'll never have trouble converting the humate powder into solution if you follow these steps from start to finish. Always plumb your operation to go from your water supply, which is your tote, directly into your pump. From the pump discharge, hook your second hose to the intake side of the inductor. Now many, including myself, have hooked this up in reverse. There's an arrow on the venturi pipe indicating the direction of flow. The third hose goes from the discharge end of the inductor back into the tote. Notice how fast the powder is flowing into the mix. Since the soluble powder is so hydrophobic and 10 times finer than baby powder, it simply works better to only crack the inductor valve about a third rather than full open. My thinking is it has to do with mostly powder and less air entering into the flow. You'll notice we started with about 180 gallon of water in the tote. We do this for convenience. Many of our liquid totes go directly to the grower's field, sometimes 120 miles away. Additional water is added there at the pivot point, making it a 275 gallon tote of 12% liquid. From there, it's pumped into the grower's irrigation injection tank. In short, we generally deliver 4 totes per load. The additional water represents about 2,500 pounds per load, which makes it easier transporting. In real time, it takes about a minute or two to convert a 55-pound bag of powder into liquid. So with that in mind, you would spend less than an hour converting 20 bags into 4 275-gallon totes of 12% liquid humate. Anti-foam is not only recommended, it is a necessary item in the mix. It takes only a couple squirts to dissipate the foam. You can either use the anti-foam in the clean water before you start or after you've converted all 5 bags. Now, the first thing you do after the last bag of powder has been drawn into the mix is close the valve under the inductor. This way you'll never get liquid up into the neck of your inductor. We found it's always good to continue circulating the finished product for another 8 to 10 minutes. Okay, so after you've circulated the mix for another few minutes, double check your valve under the inductor to make sure it's closed. The next thing we do is close the valve on the tote. Disconnect the suction hose while the pump is running, about half idle, and connect to a water supply, thus sending all the mixed product from your pump and hoses into the tote. When you see the liquid coming into the tank starts to turn clear, you've completed the process. Valves, turn your pump off, disconnect the hoses, or start another batch. In real time, without editing, this batch took 12.5 minutes. Okay, let's recap. Eliminating mistakes can save both time and energy. Most problems can be avoided by assuring your setup is completed properly. The supply hose connected to your tote goes to the intake side of your pump. And from the pump discharge, connect that hose to the pressure side of your inductor. And you'll see an arrow on the side of the venturi indicating the direction of flow. The hose from the discharge side of the venturi sends the mixed product back into your tank. Now you're set to go.